I ate only meat, eggs, and butter for 30 days. And I made my wife do it too. After talking to hundreds of people who report amazing health results from switching to an all-meat diet, I finally decided to test it out for myself. And if you're curious about trying the carnivore diet, I've learned some surprising things in the last several months. From cravings to weight loss to how expensive it is, even pooping. All this and more coming up. I've been coaching weight loss for a decade, and I thought that I had tried every way of eating and weight loss method available until I came across the carnivore diet. So for the last 4 weeks, my wife Tracey and I followed a version of this rapidly growing and trending way of eating. And while I was eating eggs and beef at every meal, I noticed 5 surprising insights that'll benefit you, regardless of whether or not you decide to give carnivore a try. First things first, let's address the obvious elephant in the room. There's very little variety with this diet. We ate meat, eggs, and butter, nothing else. And perhaps you're thinking, this can't possibly be good for you, right? That's what I thought when I first started learning about the carnivore diet. So I started doing some research and I started talking to all of these people who have experienced some really amazing results from the carnivore diet. And I did a video on the carnivore diet, which is linked at the end of this video as well as in the description below. But by far the biggest struggle in the first couple of weeks on the carnivore diet is that I missed having variety. And before all of my carnivore friends start bashing me here, make sure you stick around for number 2 and number 5 because I'll come back to this. Yes, I did miss eating other foods, but here's the really cool thing. Restricting the types of foods that you eat can make you realize how much food might control your life. I've noticed a lot of my life revolves around looking forward to eating, which isn't always a healthy thing. It's been a really long work day. Let's get pizza. Ooh, football's on today. Let's get pizza. Oh, nice. I have off work today. Let's get pizza. But eating the same foods every day removes a lot of the emotional enjoyment from food, for better or worse, which means I'm only eating when I'm actually hungry. And this can be a game changer for some people looking to lose weight, but struggling with late night snacking or emotional eating. And if that sounds like you, stick around because in number 5, I'll give you the ultimate solution to breaking cravings and emotional eating. But let's dive into number 2. Have you ever tried a green smoothie detox? I remember drinking green smoothies for days on end until the thought of a hard-boiled egg sounded like Thanksgiving dinner. I can't tell you how many different diets I've tested out in the last 10 years. It's been a lot. What I can tell you is that only one way of eating has ever stuck permanently for me. And the ones that haven't stuck, it's because they get boring. Hey, Tracey. This latest news article says I have ADHD. Seems trustworthy. But while a lack of variety can be a downside to a restrictive diet, and it does often deter you from sticking with it in the long term, there is a positive trade-off. On the carnivore diet, you don't have to spend a lot of time making decisions about what to buy at the grocery store or what to eat for dinner, or planning out your meals, or counting all of your calories. It's literally just meat, eggs, and butter. The less decisions you have to make in a day, the more willpower you'll have to stick with the important needle movers for your health. If you want to change your habits and build consistency, then a restrictive diet is not a terrible option in the beginning. Oh, Tracey, it looks like I got more hate mail again. Yeah, it's because I didn't say diets are evil. Sometimes following a diet can simplify your life, and it doesn't get much simpler than eat animal foods and nothing else. So you've simplified your life. You've got all this extra free time because you don't have to think too hard about what you should be eating. But won't all this extra free time be wasted if you feel like crap? Or you're hungry all the time, or cranky, or starving? For the first 5 days, I was hungry for pizza. My sleep was also kind of messed up, and going to the bathroom was not enjoyable. But I did know that this might happen going into it because I did my research and I talked with others who have done it before me. And after those first 5 days, once my body adjusted to this way of eating, my energy levels were amazeballs. Going to the bathroom was normal again, even without all that fiber. And my sleep was the best it's been in 5 years. And this actually isn't surprising because one of the greatest things that carnivore has going for it is that it eliminates all processed foods from your diet. And in the past, when I've done this before, my sleep improves, my weight improves, my skin is as smooth as a baby's, and I just feel really good, all from eliminating processed food. So now you're starting to think, maybe I should try this out. If it simplifies my life and it makes me feel amazeballs and it makes my skin as smooth as a baby's. To all of my carnivore friends out there, drop in the comments some of the results that you've experienced so far, just in case someone's still on the fence and thinking about trying it. But you might be thinking, what's the catch? It's the money, isn't it? Won't eating a lot more meat make your grocery bill go through the roof? Isn't eating healthy a lot more expensive than eating normal food? Normal food, regular food, the standard American diet. Seriously, our grocery bills stayed pretty much exactly the same, even with buying all of those extra steaks. This is what I found after trying out tons of different diets. Buying healthy foods is not more expensive because we eliminated all of the unnecessary junk foods. And when you eat real, unprocessed foods, you end up not eating as often or as much anyway, because your body actually gets the nutrition it needs without all the unnecessary calories. But if you've tried to eliminate these normal foods before, you know that it can be challenging. Perhaps you found you simply couldn't fight the cravings. Didn't I have unbearable cravings for literally anything other than meat, eggs, and butter? Wasn't I tempted to eat something else nearly every single minute of every single day? Nope. There were times when I thought about eating something else, but that just told me that I was actually hungry. But I wasn't really tempted to eat anything outside of the carnivore diet when I was doing it. What sorcery is this? It wasn't magic. It wasn't some untapped power that I have and you don't. It was merely common sense. I didn't keep any tempting foods in the house so that even in my weakest moments, I wouldn't break down and cheat. And when you're trying to build new habits, or you're trying to break old ones, you have to set up your environment to win. If you want to stop eating so much junk food, you'll win that battle every time by not buying those foods and having them in your house. And what you'll likely find is that once you start feeling better and building new healthy habits, those old habits, even those pesky cravings, begin to disappear over time. And if you're struggling with changing your behavior, make sure you sign up for my free newsletter where I share my best tips for healthy habits like this. So, what do I actually think about the carnivore diet? And will I remain on it for the rest of my life? All in all, my experience with carnivore was actually pleasantly surprising. It was also much easier than I expected it to be, and I felt better than I thought that I would. Despite this, though, I don't currently plan on following carnivore long term, but not because I have anything bad to report against it, other than the lack of pizza. For the last 10 years, I've been using intermittent fasting. It helped me to lose 43 pounds in about 2 months, and it allows me to maintain my ideal body weight, which has stayed the same for 10 years. But I've personally found intermittent fasting to be my secret weapon because it fits into the type of lifestyle I wish to live. Which brings us to the final and most important point. You never know what will or won't work for you until you try it out for yourself. So whether you decide to try the carnivore diet or intermittent fasting or any other way of eating, you'll need to weigh the pros and cons with how you wish to live your life. And if you're curious about the pros and cons of the carnivore diet or intermittent fasting, or you want to start doing them both, be sure to click either of the videos on the screen next.